Okay, hi there, everybody. This is Robert, chief director and inspiration of this movie, and this is.
Hey, I'm Jeff. I was the second writer and supporting role.
I'm Robbie, cinematographer, and I threw out some ideas, I think.
So yeah, basically in this scene, I think we're just establishing the role of the coconut in the entire movie with the. Oh, it's funnel! Look at that little face it got. Nice.
Yeah, this movie really started out on a whim, like a lot of our projects. Robert said, just turn the camera on. I started recording, having no idea what was going to happen.
In the beginning of this, you can see my facial expressions are so angry because I didn't want to be making this, but then later on I became very comfortable with it because I realized this is kind of funny.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the coconut was really quite. It's very moldy, even though it was only 2 days old. I bought it like 2 days before this point. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moonshine.
thank you. Thanks to my local grocer. You know. Ooh.
That's the good stuff.
I like
Yeah,
that.
so I guess that thing was really molding. You can see some green stuff on Jeff's left hand grasping the coconut.
And by the way, I forgot to mention, you might be wondering who edited this, and that was mainly me. I did the bulk of it, and then Robbie pretty much cleaned it up.
I don't wear those shoes anymore. In case anyone was wondering, I just don't. They don't fit me anymore.
Since John's nagging on me, he's sitting in the room here with us, and he wants us to mention his name.
Well, there's John over there, to my left.
John, come here, say something.
This is cool.
I needed to say something because you guys. All right, we're done.
So yeah, Robert, I didn't understand the scene quite. We're showing the how he made the juice because we showed it in the beginning, but we had to put it in there simply to progress this, I guess.
No, right there it's enough for a couple strings.
You can hear Jeffrey shaking the spray paint bottle in the background, making the sign.
Improvise and texturize.
That
That was the best hose I've ever used in my life. I have to say, it was effective. It was accurate. It was thrilling. It was a thrilling time in my life.
Now, some people have asked me, why were you guys wearing gloves? And not only was it to do the gag with the duct tape, which you'll see in a further scene, but it was because we thought we were going to be doing more of hands-on activity with the coconut. We didn't want to get the mold on our hands. So that's why we were wearing gloves.
Looks more like flour.
Yeah, the funny thing here is it actually was sugar, but we wanted it to be flour, which we actually couldn't find, so that's kind of a twist there.
Yeah, so in fact it is sugar. Yes.
Just soaking the stuff up, you can't even tell.
You'll see, this is where the Dorito bag just shows up, and I pulled that out just for something to eat. But it eventually gets taped onto the stand.
What happened is that I saw it and I thought, oh, this looks good, so I hammered it to the sign.
Yeah, it finds a way into the rest of the movie. So we're sort of going for
That was a difficult task, getting that board up there.
Oh, we got some people already.
Oh, these girls were just they were oh wow, check them out.
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, baby. Those are some hot mamas, man.
You can't even hear Jeff say "hot mamas" right here. It's just like
Well,
you hear that just barely.
we tried turning it up, but it didn't really work that well.
Don't do it with gloves on.
Jeff so exaggerated the glove thing here. Well, I understand that, but I got to keep my gloves on. Maybe I'm just like a magician with those sort of things. I don't know. Ah, it looked like it hurt. Robbie wasn't helping. I was just
this
sitting
is
there.
just an example of life for me, really, because I stand around and watch my friends just
The
do
latex, it helps hold
things
the sturdiness.
that are laughable like this, and I typically document it for, I'm sure they'll be thanking me 30 years down the line.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, awesome. Thanks, Robbie. Oh, and the spoon.
Now, one other thing about this is that the sign, it says on the back, the talk show, which is from an earlier movie, and when I was making the sign, I had to pull out some kind of cardboard, so I found that. So it kind of confuses people. I like the scene. We added this one in.
We'd like to thank Crisco for making our bottle. Oh, and yeah, that flour.
Those aren't poison.
It lived a good life. It lived a good life. Those are not poisonous, I guarantee it.
Genius, and we are now having each bean
Don't worry.
itself and this. Hey!
We almost had this person, I swear. They almost stopped, but then, just barely escaped our grasp.
No! So, this is where we start getting a little discouraged, and Jeff's throwing out some ideas.
Use your car.
No. This scene wasn't originally in there. See, we cut this, and it was like 8 minutes long. We threw it on the website. But then to send it into a couple film festivals, I wanted to re-edit it, so I added some things, and that's what you're seeing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was the best idea Jeff ever had in his life, I have to say.
No,
Apparently that mallet was like, it was our dad's, and he had it for 40 years before this point. And at the end of this movie, it's like got all these giant dents in the in the head of the mallet. It's like made of cardboard.
That's some mallet. This was the most disappointing point ever. First of all, if you notice back there, I was sitting on the table, and it was all my fault. God doesn't hate us that much. But yeah. Those are tears. That's not laughter,
No,
people.
I'm wondering if I was picking up nails there, or if I was laughing or doing both at the same time.
it's okay. No.
How are we going to support this?
Wait, duct tape.
We realize we need some more material, so we're going to go to our nearest.
I've just realized that all of our commentaries are probably just going to be us sitting around laughing at our own jokes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Look how they landed so perfectly. This little formation.
And I like the fly in here. You see it buzzing around like it's dying from the stench.
Somebody's upper middle.
Okay, I'm not sure if I should mention this or not, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. What happened was, okay, what you just heard Robert say, which was somebody's upper middle class. It really originally wasn't there. It was actually him saying this wood is good in there, but I switched it so it adds up correctly.
Right. So to emphasize it crashing, he threw it in at this point to make it much more satisfying.
That landed close to my head, not directly on it. I would have been dead otherwise.
But of course that wasn't really planned. We didn't really drop it on him or anything. It's hilarious though.
But one thing that's funny about it landing on him is that I was working on the top of the table, and I think I might have contributed to it falling accidentally. I had no intentions of it falling, but I think it was hammering slightly, and I thought Robert collapsed it on purpose just to make me angry, so I couldn't do what I was trying to. But yeah,
There's cheese in here. Hit him.
My friends will be my accidental demise, not my intentional.
And again, this is another thing that was unscripted. This lady drives by, and I'm just amazed that she ever had any thought that we were actually trying to sell something with this heap of a stand. It made no
with
sense.
a little added stuff.
yeah. And
Yeah, so
one
you
other
can
thing is
bring
that
in-
she actually drove by, like, what was it, several times
We're
before.
still setting
yeah,
up,
yeah.
but
She was driving by looking at it, and then she came back a third time to see for sure. At that point she talked to us.
And let alone this guy standing
really
next to it
thought
with a
yet
giant
about that.
camera. Like, what's she gonna think? She probably just wanted to be in the movie.
Obviously, she's not a local. She doesn't know how rare it is to find coconut juice.
okay, maybe we should lower it.
No, but actually she does drive by every day or walk by.
She didn't even see
One thing
how
I
much
want to
it
note,
was. Look at that.
there's a sort of
Just a cup. We gotta tell him
motif
it's like
or a
pint.
recurrent thing in this, where in the background you see across the street, this guy, he's been doing a lot of yard work. You could kind of see it previously in the scene with the lady in the car, but then later on he's the guy who we offer the drink to, and it's like after a hard day's work he gets something to drink.
No, you can't.
Sort
you
of
can't
an
put it on. You gotta put
unintentional
venti.
pattern.
That's what all the big companies do.
That gets a big laugh whenever this is shown about venti. I found the joke funny, but I don't know. It's kind of it's weird how everybody
there were
laughs
some cracks
about
on
that.
it, so I didn't.
That was actually a broken glass. I found it on the ground. It was nice though. It was a nice glass to begin with.
Well, I guess that venti joke was a pop culture reference for Robert, so you scored on that one.
Plus points for me.
I love this. Yeah, that face he makes is just so perfect. This is gonna be good.
Here's
I'm a serious salesman.
At the bottom right, you can see a thing that says UbseyMovies, but it's so hard
Yeah,
to see even on
a
a
good one.
TV, let alone a
no, but
computer.
people tip.
That's the box for money. It's kind of hard to tell because that small red pen, Sharpie would have been better.
Yeah, like you could get change out of that. You could just stuff your hands in the milk jug and.
Robert's like, that's for change. Like, everybody should know this.
Okay, here we go. Here comes the guy.
Oh, hey!
This
he
is
wants some
Paul
coconut juice?
Stowers. Yeah. Glad we can get him to do this.
Oh, that clump noise, that was good. We actually didn't give him the glass. We gave him water.
The glass looks nothing like the one that was actually chipped, and the water is rather clear. So yeah.
And also there's much less duct tape near the rim. Just, if you look for it, you'll notice.
He actually says, well, at least you tried, kids. But when he puts down, as Robert pointed out, when he puts down the glass, you can barely hear it when he says kids, but nobody laughs at that.
Okay, I think this was my idea. I just wanted it to seem like our dreams were shattered when he said "nice try," and so I wanted to show that by everything falling over.
Yeah. So I mean, originally we had the rope in that scene. Like we had my dad off camera pulling it, but it never really got a laugh simply because it was so cheesy looking. But Robbie removed that. So
But yeah.
Yeah, that was anyway. Well, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think we've drugged this on long enough. Thanks for listening. If you bought this, wow, thanks.
thanks for your money, sucker.
No, he didn't mean that. Please buy more stuff.